Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third episode of Where's My Blanket podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Gunter Kwok.
I'm David.
And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay, moms.
Yay. In preparations for Mother's Day, I actually had to do... I didn't have to do a lot, but I hurt myself a lot. I got 3 different scars. You can't really see them, but they're healing now. But one on each finger because I was trying to make chocolate souffles.
Mm.
And
Ouchies.
I used to make them when I was a kid. And
you made a chocolate souffle.
yeah,
when you were a kid?
my first chocolate souffle that I made was actually on Mother's Day as well, and it must have been like 15 or 16, like not that young, but like I was like, oh, I want to make chocolate souffle. Sounds like a pretty cool dessert. And by fluke, I don't know how it happened, but I made it. It was pretty good, right? And then just this week, I tried to make it again because I wanted to make sure that it was right. It's really hard. I don't know what I did or what recipe I found, but I had to make chocolate souffles twice. You were there. And both times it was just okay. But yeah.
Did you have like super like different instructions?
I don't even remember the
timing.
I don't remember the recipe that I found. That's why. So when I found, I'll explain to you my troubles. First of all, when you're baking a souffle, you want it to rise, right? So the main thing is they want you to butter the ramekin and then put sugar on it. Some chefs or some recipes encourage you to put chocolate flakes instead because it makes it less sweet and more of a chocolatey flavor. So you don't really get that really like it's not too sugary, right? Yeah. So and I agree with that. So I did that as well. The problem is, as you're grating the chocolate, it melts in your hand. So as I'm grating, part of my finger like grazed the peeler thing or
Ouch.
and so it started bleeding on 3 different because like you don't really feel it. It's like little. It's like little cuts here and there. You're like,
sometimes you can't really tell if you got cut or not.
Yeah, and then the first time when you actually tried the souffle, there was a bit of blood on it because as I was mixing the chocolate, there was blood, and I was like, oh, that's not good. But and then most of the recipes they ask you to bake it for like 6 to 15 minutes, and like that's not enough because like. The first and almost the second time, though, the inside was still liquidy, as you know. Yeah, we had to put it in the oven a bit longer. So like 20 to 25. I had to Google it and find some other recipe that said 20 to 25 minutes, and I thought this is probably a better recipe. I don't know why I followed the other ones, even though like they're usually 5-star ratings with lots of reviews, right? Those are usually credible, right?
I guess I've never really make desserts. But for like food, it's usually not so drastically
exactly
different.
And it's safe to follow the ones that have high reviews and a high number of reviews, right? So I thought it's not that bad. But then so this weekend hopefully I'm gonna make it a 3rd time this week, cross my fingers.
3rd time the charm.
If it does well, it does well. Please,
you already like won in terms of the souffle department because I've never even heard of souffle until you told me about it. Like
it is probably one of my favorite desserts.
It's really good.
Yeah, that bread and butter pudding. Oh, that's one thing I want to learn to make. Bread and butter, just bread pudding in general is amazing.
You know what I just realized? Souffle is kind of like a softer and bigger version of
lava cake. Don't say that.
No, you want to kill me more because I think it's like. Not cupcake, but muffin. It's like a softer version of muffin, don't you think? It is much better.
It's because the egg white. So I mean, I know you didn't see me as I was making it, but you incorporate egg white into the mixture, and that as you that's what makes it light and fluffy, right? Whereas muffins are just air, or not just muffins are just like flour. So
yeah, it's definitely not as dense.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, and I'll say that I think souffles are closer to a muffin than it is to a lava cake.
Yeah, I never thought
lava cake. They're
it's
okay.
Good.
They're okay. They're always so sweet, though.
I think everything's good. So
yeah, and you know, Western culture. Not to shut on them again. This is not the podcast. This is not the episode to shut on people, but. Everything like in Asian culture we don't like things too sweet, right?
Yeah.
You know how I don't know, like every time my parents find a recipe like, oh, I'm gonna add half the sugar and it's still too sweet. Yeah. So I don't really know what's going on there, but Western people like their diabetes
have really sweet desserts that I don't understand how they
don't know why they're obese all the time. No, okay. Anyway, but no, happy Mother's Day. I hope my mom likes it. I'll keep you guys informed. But yeah, what are your plans for Mother's Day?
Well, I'm gonna probably make a meal or two, and watch some movies with her since there's nowhere to go. Well, actually, garden centers are open.
Are they now?
This week.
Oh yeah, and then but you still have to maintain social distancing though. So I know Doug Ford released like a statement.
Yeah, like they can open, but
more.
they still have to. I mean, like all the protocols have to be followed, right? Like lining up and how many people can go in.
Yeah.
They still have to limit that, but I mean, it's just like supermarkets and grocery stores.
I think it's a good idea, not to get too off topic, but yeah, because there was.
I think they open garden center because it's the time of year that everyone wants to.
Yeah.
Get stuff to their garden.
Yeah.
So I guess they didn't want to take that away, and since it's healthy and good for the environment.
Well, John Tory, our mayor in Toronto. No, mayor? Is he our mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. I don't know the difference between I don't know the names, the titles.
I don't know everything either, but
mayor,
I'm pretty sure he's our mayor.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, but he's the mayor of Toronto, and he made a plan called Active TO. So he's encouraging people to go out as well, which I don't think is a bad idea. I just think it's like go out, but just not in like dense places, like I said before. But I mean, as long as you maintain your distance or whatever. Yeah.
It's good. I think. Some slowly but surely things are gonna reopen. But I guess if too many things reopen at once, it's probably. Yeah, and we will probably be.
Can you imagine all the lineups though? Especially restaurants. Let's say restaurants reopen and they have to maintain the distance, right? So they even have less capacity.
Yeah.
But so many people are itching to go out. I'm itching to fucking go out, right? And then we're gonna have to wait hours for fried chicken.
Yeah, especially those places that usually already have lineups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My chicken.
It will be interesting.
I feel so bad for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
not just Mama Chicken, some of the ramen places. Yeah.
I would. Do ramen places have lineups though?
Yeah,
I don't think they're that popular. They're okay.
Even Kanjiki has
I guess Kanjiki is the only
because they don't have a lot of seats.
That's fine. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah. Okay, fine.
It's not like Chinese places where it's
huge.
Yeah, and it still has lineup.
Yeah, well,
because it's usually huge families going.
Yeah.
There.
That's okay though.
Speaking of healthy, it looks like I'm drinking poison, but it's actually kombucha. I don't know why.
It looks orange on the screen.
It looks really scary on the screen.
Yeah, okay.
It's very healthy kombucha.
You should drink it and prove to everybody that you're not crazy. But let's talk about our moms because it's Mother's Day or it's the weekend of Mother's Day. Do you want to go first with your memories or?
You can go first.
I'll go first. All right. So we'll start off from the very beginning, just because moms are moms.
Start from the very beginning.
So my first memory of my mom, it was with my brother, and I guess I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna repeat myself when it comes to Father's Day because my parents never do anything alone. They rarely do. They work the same job or they work in the same company because they share a business. They wake up at 4 a.m. and they do a lot of work before. I remember them leaving the house every day at 5:30. Before we even wake up, before my brother and I wake up to go to school, they're already at the door working. And then by the time we come back, it's just us, my brother and I. They come home at 8 or 9. They were hardworking parents. I'm sure all parents are, but yeah, my parents were also very hardworking. And the one distinct memory I have, PSA, my parents were Tiger parents. They're not anymore, but. My brother and I were sitting in my mom's room watching TV, and we're kids, so we're just oh yeah, watch TV. And we hear our parents come home. And we're on the second floor, by the way. So we hear our parents come home, and we're oh fuck, turn the TV off. And they can, I think they could have heard us scouring or something, because the second my mom and dad went up the stairs, I could hear them say, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you watching TV?" And
English.
That was in Chinese. It was in Chinese.
Oh, okay.
I can't replicate it, but yeah.
I know.
But yeah, she's what the fuck are you guys doing? She didn't even ask us if we did our homework, if everything. She just obviously because So they had I'm sure they had a very stressful job and the nature of their job and having to. I'm a very bougie kid, so they had to pay for a lot of my expenses. So I understand now. I understand, right? But at the time when I was a kid, she was just what the and then she just ran up. She knew that we were watching TV. And I think that was the night where so they had a meter stick under their bed, and then so my brother and I were there, and don't really know what happened. All I remember is the meter stick breaking. Actually, like, it's actually kind of scarred. Like, I kind of wiped it out of my memory where I don't really know what happened.
But that was it the first memory of your parents? Or you mean like the...
That's my youngest memory. That is very imprinted in my head.
Really? How young? How old were you?
I have to say 6, 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty young, I guess.
Is it? Okay, yeah. And I don't know, like, and growing up, my parents, especially my mom, because I guess my mom was the more vocal one. So even though if her and my dad had the same style and approach to parenting, my mom was always the more like, my dad never hit me or my dad never punished me, right? But my mom did.
It's the mom.
Probably on behalf, which is fine, right? And so my mom was also the more loving one, because like I remember also sitting in a car ride. It was me and her in the back, and my dad was driving, and she's like, "Oh, so Gunter, when you grow up, you're not gonna date until you're 24. You're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer, right? Like all the classic Asian stuff, which is fine, right? Because I was like, okay. The thing is, I was never good in school, right? I graduated university with a C- cumulative average. Like I'm not fucking smart, okay? But yeah, I mean, they still had these expectations of me, which I was like, sure. And I guess growing up, I felt like most Asian parents that are like tiger parents, you know, they have certain expectations of their kids, right? And I'm not saying you have to do this if you're watching this and you're like in my situation as well. But so I am, as you know, but I'm someone that doesn't take a lot of shit. And so the second I graduated university in 2012, in June, I said, "Mom, Dad, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go to Hong Kong. Like, fuck you guys. This is too suffocating." And then this is a very sad story, but I remember being very sad. I'm not going to go into detail past that because it's a little embarrassing. But yeah, they were very sad that I just like hopped up and left. I called their bluff and I said, "Quit your bullshit. Fuck you. I'm leaving." And I went to Hong Kong for 2 years where I just, lived my life. I taught English. I played poker. I did like a bunch of shit, right? Just be me. But then 2 years went by and I was like, okay, let's go back. The second I went back, everything changed. Like my mom was no longer controlling. She was like, "Oh, hey, how are you? How's your day? Like, you know what I mean? Like complete 180." And I'm not saying that this is going to be the same experience that you have, because I'm sure a lot of Asian millennials or whatever have tiger parents. So I'm not saying that this is going to happen to you, but it happened to me. And yeah, like now, and I'm not saying that what I did had any effect, but now the relationship I have with my parents are great. They're like, "Hey, how are you?" And like I can actually say stuff without having to feel like my opinion isn't worth, you know how, yeah, when you're young, like, "Oh, you're just a kid, you don't know anything, right?" Or when you try to like say something to your parents and then it turns into a lecture. See, this is why you never do, like, "Man, can I just tell you a joke?" Or like, "I just wanted to tell you like a funny story," and then you turn to a lecture. But like none of that
become a lecture.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore to me. And
I guess, I mean, like, there's definitely growth in you too, right? Like your personality. You're more mature too after you live by yourself.
You can say that. And also, I guess within that growth, I saw my parents growing as well. Because remember, even though when you're younger, you think that your parents are like my phone is distracting me. It was face up. So when you're younger, you think your parents are like, the best, and like your parents can do no wrong, right? Because they're your parents, right? You're very idealistic of them. As you grow older, or like as I've grown older, you get to see your parents as they are, right? Like they made mistakes when they were younger. Because like remember, this is it's your first time being a kid. It's their first time being a mom or dad dealing with a 7-year-old. A 14-year-old, right? A 20-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And so I got to, and I'm continuing to see my parents grow, right? As they interact with me, right? Now I'm 30, and then I get to see how my parents are interacting with a 30-year-old, right? Et cetera. And 10 years later, when they're interacting with a 40-year-old, when I'm a bit more in my career, when they're getting older, et cetera, right? So this is their first time too. So it gives me perspective on like they're human too. And I think that's the part that we all come down to is, yeah, like no one's perfect and they're human too. And yeah, I love you, Mom and Dad, but I love you, Mom. It's Mother's Day.
Nice. Very, very cool. It's so very different.
Yeah. Tell me your experiences.
I mean, my mom is a teacher. So I think, she has a very clear idea, I guess, in her mind, like what's right, what's wrong. So, just always she told me these values that, I have to be nice to people, and I have to...
Why are you such an asshole to me then?
I have to, like think about what people feel, and have good etiquette, things like that. So I never had like tiger parent experiences, actually. My parents never once hit me.
I can tell.
They yell though, and like lectures a lot, especially my mom. My dad, less so, but I mean he would like kind of explode when when I do something really silly or like very careless.
Did your dad explode less than your mom?
I think so. Yeah, I mean my mom doesn't explode though. She just constantly has something to remind me. Constantly has something to nag about, I guess. Yeah, and this is pretty true even.
That's probably why you're so used to me.
Even to now. Yeah. But I don't know. My first, it's quite a contrast. Like my best memory of.
Not best, first.
My first memory of her.
My first memory of my mom was not a good, like that ruler. That.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not best.
Not good. Okay.
By best, I mean like the most vivid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's silly and it's sweet, but it's just her playing this little game called Airplane with me. It's basically like she held me up in the air on a bed, and like I fly around.
How old were you? Oh, baby then, right?
This young, yeah. Maybe 4 or 5. I don't know, but like I can remember this.
Oh, you can remember that far back.
Yeah, like I can.
It's not that far.
I can remember like the bed and like how the lights look like.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would say that's the first.
Vivid.
Yeah, that's the first. Yeah, and I really loved that, I guess, as a kid. Yeah, I can still like. There's a song to go with it too. They have all these like nursery rhymes and lullabies that put you to sleep. So that's one thing I remember from my childhood with my mom.
I think your dad and my dad might be a little similar, because judging from like how you're describing your parents, our moms are the ones that are always generally the ones that are a bit more.
There's more hands-on and more. Yeah.
But then whenever my dad had something to say, when we were younger, anyways, that's when I knew that shit would hit the fan. Like that's like, oh, we fucked up. Like we actually fucked up. Yeah. Because usually my mom's like, meh, 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 and like, okay, then chill the fuck out. But then when my dad's like, hey.
Yeah, and like exactly.
Just like, hey. Right?
Yeah.
And you're just like,
instantly you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just usually I like to sleep in, and usually it's my mom like would try to wake me up, and like nothing happens.
Yeah.
I will still be talking, like sleep talking. And and my dad's just not even doesn't have to go into the room. He just yells from like outside the door, like like get up, or like hey, it's time. And then like right away I'm like just sit up and get off the bed. Yeah, it's just a different, totally a different dynamic, I guess. But I guess that's similar in our situation, and I think in many families maybe. Especially for sons, I think. Especially for sons,
maybe. I'm not sure about that, because I didn't grow up with any sisters, so I wouldn't know. I guess I grew up with my cousin, but it doesn't count. Well, I mean, like, because, I don't know, it's different, not to get into too much of my family, but I don't think it counts that much. But I'd say it's true in Asian families, whether it's, like, Chinese or Mandarin or Japanese, like, it doesn't matter, right? Or Korean, either, because I've been watching K-dramas, and Crush Landing on You is fucking amazing, by the way.
Apparently. I'm on second episode.
It's so good.
It is really good.
But yeah, anyway, so I know that a lot of like obviously most Asian communities have tiger parents, so they all go through this, and with your mileage may vary is I think the main point that I'm trying to get at, right?
Mileage?
Your mileage may vary is a thing that people say of like your results may differ, right?
Oh.
Just because I ran away doesn't mean that my parents did a 180. Doesn't mean that someone else who runs away from their very strict parents would do the same, right? Some parents would be like, okay, fuck you, good riddance, right? Like, and that might be a real thing. So yeah, but it happened to me, and now I have a good relationship, so I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
Cool. Did your mom ever help you with homework, like, or who helped you with homework?
So she says she did, but I don't remember. No, that's a lie, because I remember when I was younger in Chinese school.
Chinese school.
So,
okay.
Because I grew up in Canada, right? So we had to go to like an after-school program for Chinese.
Oh,
like
okay.
I didn't like. Yeah.
I'm talking about just like the main courses, like math and like the hard shit.
Oh no. Okay. Well, no. That was. I mean, like, okay. So I was.
Maybe you were just okay on your own. I don't know.
I was okay on my own up to university. I'd say up till high school, like including high school, I got pretty good grades. So when I say I got pretty good grades because I guess I hung out with a crowd that cared about grades and academics. So I was like, okay, you got a 88. Let me try to at least get there or whatever, right? So that we were not that we were competitive, but it's just among friends. Like I had a little.
I mean,
I'm a little competitive, right? But once we got into university, I started smoking too much weed, and I just did not care. Yeah, and I guess that's where all
Can't relate.
Yeah, don't try it, by the way. Like I wouldn't want.
Too late to try.
I don't want you to try it either. Like I don't think it's very bad.
I don't know. Like friends would keep asking. I just don't see the.
I don't think you should.
I don't see the reason.
I mean, you can if you want to, but I just don't think you should.
Yeah.
I don't think it brings you any value, and it's, yeah. But anyway, so I guess I stopped caring about grades, and so that's why in university I kind of.
Plunge.
Yeah, plunge. And to go back to answer your question, so my parents never really did help. My mom never really helped me, but she did say. So it's different because so in my mind when I'm younger, she's a very strict parent, right? And she comes home, we didn't do our homework, so we get beat. But then when my mom tells the story nowadays, if you ask my mom, she'll say, oh yeah, when Gunter was younger, his teachers would complain, oh, Gunter's not doing his homework, and my mom's like, yeah. That's just how he is. I can't change him. And she's so like nonchalant about it. Oh, he doesn't do his homework. I don't give a fuck, right? I'm like, that's the parent that I'm gonna be, right? Not necessarily, but like, yeah. So her version of it is she's very calm and whatever. My version is like, what the fuck? You didn't do your homework. And I was like, okay,
so
yeah.
You don't think it matched what she
I
thinks
definitely
she
think
does?
there's definitely a little disconnect somewhere. Not sure where, but yeah, it wasn't always that calm. The fact that I didn't do my homework. I remember one time I brought home my report card, and so my mom is sitting. So I go into my mom's bedroom, and she has a chair with the sit up things, just in the corner of a room. And so I remember I walk into her room and I turn directly to the corner because that's where she's sitting. And I'm like, here's my report card, Mom. And then I remember she just looks at it and she does this. And I'm sitting there like scared shitless. This was probably grade 5 or 6 too. Like I remember like around that time, right? And she's like, what is this? And I shit you not, I promise you, she pointed at an A- in math, and she's like, what the fuck is this? And I was like,
that's where the stereotypes come from.
No, I shit you not though, right? And I remember it was in geometry because I fucking hated geometry. Of all the different math criteria, like algebra and whatever, like I'm happy with algebra because I liked all that stuff, but geometry and like I guess spatial stuff and estimating was so stupid to me. Like I mean I understand the point of estimating, but like if they give on test, I remember there's a piece of paper, here's a ruler, estimate to the nearest centimeter how long it is, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? Why is this relevant? I remember that. And then
never got into math in general.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
But like from my experience, I mean the reason I ask is because I remember my mom trying really hard to help me with math because clearly it was struggling.
Is she good at math?
She's okay.
I know your mom teaches
I think
Chinese,
she's a Chinese teacher. She's a language teacher, and I think I inherited that. Like my language and like arts skills are okay, but anything that has to do with numbers, even science, is like, I'd rather not. Science is fun. At least sometimes you get to do like experiments. Math is just like, why? But I mean, like, I'm glad I was raised in, Asian country, and I did go through these, and sometimes it is helpful, like my math is not too atrocious. But like the whole, like geometry and algebra, I'm pretty sure I didn't do those, but I did calculus. I don't know why.
I'm talking about, so my story is when I'm like 6 years old, like grade 1 or 2. Like,
you were doing geometry when you were grade 1 or 2?
Yeah, why not? Like, what shape is this? A hexagon.
That.
Okay. That's what I meant, geometry. Or like,
I'm
like,
talking about like grade 11.
Oh, no, see, that's what I mean. Yeah. Because I used like calculus, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with Taiwan?
No.
During calculus?
No, that was grade 12, and it was the biggest regret of my life.
So your mom helped you even in grade 12, like in high school?
When I came here, it was less. Yeah, my cousin helped me more because I lived with them.
We're talking about childhood memories.
Yeah, I know.
So
no. So I'm talking about when I was still in Taiwan. My mom helped me with math. Yeah, and like those questions that ask you like, if I can't even think of one, but like it's just those questions that's like has a story and they want you to figure out.
Yeah, problem solving ones. Yeah, they have a whole like, this person's standing on a cliff, and if he shines a fucking light down this hill or whatever the fuck, how long does it? Yeah, okay.
It just made me feel so dumb. It's like these words look so easy, but the numbers are nonsensical. It's like, I hated those. And
I will never make you feel dumb again. Not in that way, anyways.
I mean, like, I don't ever see myself having to do those questions.
I can never make you feel as dumb as a math question can. I promise you.
That's good.
Like that. I know the pain, and
it's awful. So anything else like history or like geometry? No, not geometry. Geography.
Geography.
Yeah, those are like, at least you can understand it, right? Sure, I still have some problems sometimes.
I hated history. I still continue to hate history. Although, funny enough, historical fiction is one of my favorite genres in books. But I hate history. Like, I hated history in school.
I guess it depends on what kind of history. Yeah, because Canadian history is not that fun.
It was so boring.
Yeah, because when I was in Taiwan, I'm talking about Chinese history.
Oh, yeah.
And even Taiwan, the whole shebang.
I can understand how that's
a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Like 3,000 years of history, and things that's like pretty incredible. Yeah, compared to Canadian, what are we, like 200 years? Like, it's just a lot less impressive, I guess.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I can, that's one of the memories I have of my mom, is she helping me with math, and both of us getting like super frustrated. And like,
no, 1 + 1 is 2. No, it's fucking 3. The fuck you talking about?
No, it's not one of those impossible quiz or something. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to show you a funny picture because it's Mother's Day.
Sure.
Have you ever seen... I'm sure you've seen these, but would you ever do that to your kid?
The leash thing?
Yeah.
Heck no. Would you?
No, but I think it's... There are people that do that. I've seen it in Toronto.
No, I've seen it.
And the thing is, the crazy thing to me is that... like, I should, that... They have their kid on a leash, and they're holding their dog free arm. I'm like,
I haven't seen.
No, I swear to God, I saw this in Toronto, like walking downtown in Toronto.
Dog is more easy to control than kids.
Okay, maybe it's easy, but it's easier to control, or like, hello? I don't understand. I think you got it mixed up, miss.
I think the only time...
Can I help you, ma'am?
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
The only time I think leash on kids is okay.
No, it's never okay.
It's like, no, but if you like go to a very crowded place and you really don't want to miss, like you don't want to lose your kids, like on a very busy, well, first of all, you shouldn't bring your kids to somewhere that's like so crowded anyway. But I mean, that's the only practical way that that I can see this being useful. But like if you're just like making sure that they don't go to like a candy shop and like yank them when they when they go, this is ridiculous.
I'd say it's very situational, because like let's say, okay, if you're a single mom with 2 kids, basically if you're outnumbered, right? Or if you're with your husband or your other wife, and then you have 3 kids or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Then maybe I can see it because they're right at that age where they can't. But then no, well, I mean, so we have friends that are also moms, right? Like they're having their. We have a lot of like not a lot. We have friends that just have kids. And
none of them use leashes.
Yeah, none of them use leashes, which is fine. I'm not saying that, but the point in which a kid is just starting to run and they're like they can run anywhere, right? Is they can also sit in like the baby seat, right? Or like a stroller, yeah, right? So it's not like just because they're able to walk they can, right? It's just I feel like it's just. I mean, I get it. It's just, don't you have any shame or like everybody's judging you, and I guess I guess it doesn't matter.
I guess they don't feel that way. It's more.
I don't give a fuck what you think as long as my child's safe, which I understand. Yes.
Yeah, if they are considering their child's safety, then I can kind of tolerate it. Yeah, but if it's just because you're lazy to look after your kid and just want to have them on the leash so you can yank them when they try to go to the candy store.
On...
yeah, then that's just pretty bad, right? And I have a fear that a lot of them use it because of that.
Of that?
Yeah. But I mean, like, isn't it easier to like hire a nanny? I guess it's more expensive. Or like, I don't know, just have someone with you, have a friend accompany you and
Are we
watch
gonna
kids.
go into parenting styles right now? Because I can.
I mean, sure. Like, you mean like your parenting style?
No, not that, but just in general. Because I think, yeah, I agree with you that the reasoning of why you're using leash matters, but like it's also similar to like let's say you're a teacher, right? Or you're and you're a tutor or whatever, and you teach kids once a week, right? And you have parents who assume that because they're paying you for tutor, for example, that you're gonna make a difference, right? But you see their kid once a week for an hour, right? Like in like a big picture holistic sense, how much impact do you really have, right? Versus the mom or dad who sits there with them like your mom did and helps them every day learning piano or like violin or whatever, right? So I think I see a huge contrast between boomers and millennials from my own experience anyways, in terms of the parenting styles. So boomers are a lot they, at least my parents anyways, they like to pay other people for their services to raise their kid, whether they're, not that they're lazy. I mean, some are lazy, but I'm not going to say my parents are because they weren't, but my parents were very hardworking. So whether it's because my parents didn't have the time or while other people are just lazy, like, yeah, my kid's dumb, so just take some money and make him smart, right? Like they think money can fix the problem, right? Money does not fix the fact that you are a lazy parent, right? If you are a lazy parent, right? And so it's really the time that it takes but it really is the time that you take to spend with your kid, right?
Yeah.
But when like our friends who are millennials are starting to have kids, I see a huge difference, right? Like so many of them are like they spend so much time with their kids, right? One of our friends even quit her job because her husband can provide enough, which is great, but she's a full-time mom, and I think if you can afford that financially, that's great because your kids need that emotional support, right? That's probably one of the things that I didn't have because while I'm thankful for my childhood and I'm thankful for all the vacations I went through because of my parents working hard, I couldn't tell someone how my day went, right? No one asked me, and it was, it is a little damaging. Like, I mean, it's a give and take, right? I mean, parenthood in general is very hard, right? You sacrifice one thing, because...
Yeah, I guess they want to make sure they can
provide for me, right? Exactly, yeah, and I fully
you don't have to worry
that.
about money ever.
Yeah, and if you... flip it on the other side, if I got what I wanted and they're like, hey, how are you, right? And they had to like care for me, quote unquote, I probably wouldn't be able to travel to all the places that I wanted to, right? I probably wouldn't have the insight or like the experiences that I've had. It's very give and take, right? So you can't say one style is better than the other, for sure, but I can, and I'm not going to definitively say, but being lazy is never like a good solution, right? Like, so if you're just, giving people money, or if you're just using a leash, for example, in this example, because you're lazy, then you're just a bad parent. If you're just paying people to like, oh, take care of my kid, my kid is too annoying, I don't have the patience for it, right?
Yeah, I just feel like it's like an invention that's like dangerous for some lazy parent.
Exactly. Yeah. If you use it correctly, I understand the point, and I find the merit. But yeah, ultimately, don't be a lazy parent. And
the only time that I felt like my mom would have want to use it is like to shopping malls on a busy day.
Yeah.
Because I one time I actually got lost in a shopping mall. Like, it's called Carrefour.
Have you ever gotten lost? I'm trying to think if I have ever gotten lost.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, I was crying. I actually couldn't find her, and then I had to go to the, what's that called? Customer service. Like, somehow I found it. I forgot how old I was, but yeah, I somehow found it, and then like crying, and they made the announcement.
I can imagine it's traumatizing.
So I mean, that was pretty scary, right, for both of us, I'm sure. But I don't think my parents would ever use something like that. I had a nanny. I was like probably like 1 or 2 for maybe 2-3 years. Yeah, I did have a nanny, and they dropped me off at her place.
Do you remember the nanny?
Oh yeah, I remember.
I don't remember. I had nannies too in Hong Kong. Like, my mom and dad would be like, oh, here's so and so.
It's probably because we still keep in touch. Like, every time I go back to Taiwan, I would still go visit them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like.
And how long did you have your nanny for?
Probably 2-3 years.
No. Like, because you left Taiwan when you were like in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Did you have your nanny still then, or like at how old were you when you still had a nanny?
Nanny? Well, it's like 3 or 4.
Really? That young? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say.
Because in Hong Kong,
I mean, I still keep we still we keep in touch.
Yeah.
And they're friends, like family friends.
Okay,
almost.
I think that's why. Yeah.
Yeah. But
well, I only ask because I know in Hong Kong culture, they have nannies up until they're like in middle school or high school, right?
Really?
Yeah, I think.
What do they do?
I don't know, just like make you food or whatever. Like,
I don't think that's called nanny.
Or just a maid, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
but like
helper.
Like we just call them helper. I call them helper.
No, by definition for my nanny, like she just took care of the toddlers. Basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we keep in touch, and I guess like they were proud of me when they see me perform piano and things like that, and yeah. Even when I went back to Taiwan to do that concert, I invited them. Yeah.
That's sweet.
It was nice. Yeah.
You don't invite me, you're a shit.
Yeah, right. You don't come.
Music is fucking boring.
Wow. Truth is out.
Yeah, I know. Every time you invite me, I just roll my eyes and go.
Okay, so I have some ideas here. Oh, before the meme, do you have your baby picture?
Yeah, I do.
So I thought it would be interesting to look at. You want to talk about yours first? Have you seen this?
Yeah, I've seen that, but you can go first.
Well, okay, so I just want to, from this photo, what can you remember from this photo?
Of you or me?
No, of you.
Oh, from...
Yeah. Or like, how can you associate this photo with your mom in any way?
In my mom? I can't. I know that... like this hand in the background, I don't even know whose this is.
The mystery.
Yeah,
it looks like a lady's hand.
Judging from it says 94, but so if it's 94, then I'm 4 years old here because I was born in 90.
That looks like a 4-year-old.
Yeah. So that means I'm in Canada already because I came here when I was like around 3.
Are you wearing something on your head?
It must be like a bandana or something, or just like some like little thing.
Like a bow.
But I don't remember this. Like, honestly, if I have to go back to my earliest childhood memory, which doesn't involve my mom, it involves my grandpa. And like we're sitting at home playing Bomberman because that's the game I played. That was my first video game. Yeah. Or it's like I was like just in a car with me and my grandpa, and he would pretend that he got lost, and he'd be like, "Oh no, should we turn? We're trying to go home, by the way. Like we spend the day together. We're trying to go home, and then he's like, "Oh no, we're lost. Like, where should I go? Should I turn left or right?" And I'm sitting there. I'm just like, because I'm like 4, right? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like I'm scared shitless, right? I don't fucking know. Turn left, and he and obviously he knew. So he'd be like, "Okay, sure, let's turn left." Or he'd like, "Oh, I don't think so. Let's turn right." And then when we got home, I'd be like, "Oh fuck." Oh, we made it. I was scared because so like my grandpa took me on like an emotional roller coaster, and I was like, we went home.
I can remember something similar. But
I mean, it's sweet at the time. Now that I remember it,
it was kind of, risky.
But no, so that was my earliest memory. But so to associate it with this picture, I can't remember it. No, I don't remember.
Do you remember what car this is?
I'm gonna say it's a Buick. It's either a Buick or a Volvo because those were the first 2 cars. One of those 2 models is the first car we had. I think it's a Volvo actually.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell.
No, I know. So. I know. Yeah, I don't know either. But, no, don't. And I used this picture once in my WhatsApp, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think it looks so like gangstery. I'm just like, hey, what up, man? I'm a G. I'm 4 years old. I'm a G.
I think you look pretty innocent. And
I'm like, cool. I'm like, hey, what up, right? And then I put it as my WhatsApp picture, and you're like, I feel like I'm talking to a little baby when I'm talking to you. And I'm like, yeah, you should. You're a fucking pedophile.
Yeah, okay.
This
is just gonna...
It's a
running joke.
For as long as you teach kids, I'm always going to be saying that. But no,
thanks.
Cannot remember anything about my mom about this, unfortunately. Even though it's my earliest picture that I have of me.
That's fine.
Yeah. What about your picture?
I think this is even younger. Or I think actually this looks like I was 3 or 4 too, I would say.
See, that still looks like you. I can see
Some people can't see this as
I can see you in that.
I can, I mean.
Yeah, I can.
I mean, the hair is just horrendous. I don't know. I think it was my mom's idea. It's my first and only mushroom cut ever.
I don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
It looks like a helmet. If I look from far away, that looks like a helmet. I mean, it's a good kid haircut, but
yeah. I mean,
I would never do that again.
If you think about kids that honestly, I think I like kids with like more higher volume of hair, like
instead of like mohawk.
I don't know why. It just doesn't, like, for me, it doesn't match kids. Like, kids are not supposed to have that type of
more cute and innocent looking. Yeah, I think this one. I mean, what I can remember, because I can remember the whole picture. This is a crop. Yeah, so I can remember the whole picture.
Do you have the whole picture with you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember where it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a whole outfit that was really cute. And I think I was with my cousins.
Are you in school? Are you wearing a school uniform?
No. This is like 4 years old.
I don't know,
kindergarten.
I mean, in Taiwan, I imagine, right? Or in Asian countries, they have school uniforms, right?
No, yeah, but even
I never had it,
kindergarten didn't have this kind of uniform. We had like T-shirts.
Sure, yeah.
No, this was with my cousins. I think at my grandparents' place. Yeah, that's all I can remember.
Can you connect it with your mom or to your mom?
Well, the haircut, I guess.
Oh, the haircut. Yeah.
Because I don't remember, but she said she cut this hair, and I was like,
oh, you showed her. Like, did you show her this picture? Like, hey, mom, do you remember this?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I used to go through some childhood photos with her, and this was one of them, and I just remember her telling me that this is her work. But yeah,
it's probably the one thing we do. I mean, like, I guess my family, or I guess my parents and I, we talk about our childhood or like the things in the past. But we never go through childhood memories. Yeah,
I think it's pretty cute.
It's very.
It's pretty hilarious.
It's hilarious. It's also very. It's very. I don't know how to say the word. It makes me sad though. Or like nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So.
I mean, yeah, sure. You know, yeah, you'll remember the better days when you don't have to worry about anything, and you know
that. Yeah. Well.
But
I was gonna. Well, I mean, it's on my mind. So I'm gonna say it now. So my grandma not recently, I guess it's been 4 months, but recently 4 months passed away, and so in order to honor that, we had to find some pictures of her, and put them up in a temple next to my grandpa. And so my cousin, who keeps a lot of childhood photos, she sent us like pictures of my grandma and grandpa, and like I didn't even know that they existed. I can try and show you one later. And when I saw it, I thought it looked like one of our friends. Like, yeah, I was like, what the fuck? This does not look like Grandpa.
Oh wow.
Because all I've ever seen of him was when I was very young, and he's like, her and him, by the way. Yeah, sorry, Grandma and Grandpa.
Oh, okay.
Where that, like, you know, they're older and whatever. And then when my cousin sent me these pictures of, hey, we can use these, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen these. And they're like, like, I feel a little sad that I didn't get to know, obviously, because my grandpa passed away when I was like 3 or 4, like also like around the time of that picture, basically. I remember.
Yeah, one of my grandpa.
Yeah, and so like
before I was born.
It makes me sad that I didn't get to know him as much as I'd like to, etc., and all that stuff. Yeah, because like I mean, I have a picture now of my grandpa and my grandma when they're probably around just like in their 40s, and you know that they're still continue to be dating, because I remember, you know, my grandma was like on her, so it was a very sweet picture. And yeah, it makes me sad, but
yeah, I think it's, I mean, not nostalgic, and you know, you might get a little sad, but there's also funny, happy memories from these photos.
Yes.
So I just thought we would talk about one of the childhood photos. There's so many, but I didn't bring most of them to Canada, so a lot of them are still in Taiwan. That's why.
There should be a Grandma Day too. I guess there isn't. But
Grandma's
I mean, Grandma is an extension of Mom, right?
Yeah, it's
like
basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I collected some Mother's Day memes, and we're just gonna, I don't know, talk about it.
This one?
First one, of course,
this one?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I'm the mother of dragons. I need an army, not an animal arrangement.
I don't know what edible arrangement is.
It's like flower. It's like you know how it's like an edible. Edible means you can eat it.
Oh.
And arrange, like, it's like a flower, or like those things where like it's like a bouquet or a basket of things that you can eat
it. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like chocolates and stuff.
That never happened to any of my Mother's Day, so
yeah.
I guess, is it a Western thing?
It is, but I've never even done it. Like,
I see. Yeah. But yes, Mother of Dragon.
Also, these reaction things, I feel like you're gonna laugh at them more, because I'm not. Unless I find it really funny, then I'll laugh.
I mean, we don't have to laugh.
Yeah, no.
It's just memes. That's also Game of Thrones, isn't it?
Yeah, push yourself. Mother-child selfies. Oh yeah, that's true. I feel like that's.
I used to do this.
I can see that with you. Actually, I can see that with you.
Yeah, I used to do this. Yeah, just every Mother's Day, you know, or Mother's birthday. Yeah, I post a photo with her, and I don't do that as much anymore. I still take photos. Do you need
to post it though? Like so for me, like when I think about like.
I used to post everything to.
Why Facebook. Do you need why do you need to? Do you know what I mean? Like why do you need? I guess that's okay. So no, we're diving into philosophy here. I understand why people need to, because they need some validation from the internet.
Validation, and just like I guess people sometimes want to share, or they think this is a sweet thing to do or a nice thing to do, and they want people to see it.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think the older you grow, the less you want to
do that. I've never
flaunt.
I've never done that. Yeah.
I mean, it's sweet to take a photo or whatever.
No, taking a photo is fine. I mean, I take pictures.
It.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm like, hey world, look at me, right? And like, especially for those moms who ran away to like the liquor store to get cigarettes and they never came back, right? I know that's more of a dad thing, but some moms do that too, right? And like, so when you're putting your picture out there trying to flaunt the world, like, look at my amazing mom. Yeah, well, my mom.
Oh, you mean like you might be hurt? Yeah, hurting others.
You might hurt others by like rubbing how awesome your mom is.
I think that's social media in general.
Yeah.
Anyway. I don't always tell my mother how much I love her, but when I do, it's not on Facebook. It's the same idea. Yeah, so
I mean, that's true.
Yeah,
although
it's a different way to look at it.
I recently, not recently. I think a couple months ago I tried this. So I don't know why. I was feeling. So my brother and I visit my parents every week, right? And there was one week where I was feeling particularly affectionate for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So as we were leaving, I tried to give my mom a kiss, like a goodnight kiss. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
Virus.
And she's like, "Just go, just go, just go." He's like, "Yeah, She's like, "I know how much you love me. Just go." And I was like, "All right, yeah."
Was this recent? I feel like I saw it.
It wasn't like last week, but it wasn't like last year either. It must have been like a couple months.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah. And then immediately the week after, she was like, she tried to hug me, and I was like, yeah, because I think she felt bad, right, or something. And then the next week she tried to hug me as we were leaving, and I was like, the fuck are you doing? And then now we just reverted back to normal. Like, okay,
I mean,
fine.
this is an Asian thing, right? Like we don't say I love you to each other. I mean, most of the time.
We do it through other ways.
I write it in cards. Okay, and even that's kind of weird.
Yeah, like I think we express it through I express it
so
through.
We just don't say that kind of stuff
Yeah.
in like phone calls.
Yeah.
Unlike
the fact that I'm making soufflés,
Westerners.
I'm not saying that it's a symbol of love, but like, you know, my mom knows that I'm doing it because she loves me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they were, whatever, yeah. So like,
I mean, we definitely show, we just gestures.
Actions speak louder than words, maybe.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. I know I would.
It's just, this one is just mean, but I mean, I love this guy, but it's funny.
I know some people that are like, okay,
but no, the funny thing is, I think this meme is not about, Stevie Wonder being blind.
Oh.
I think it's more like, long distance. Mother and son, mother and daughter.
I was thinking of like.
I know I won't. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both, right?
Yeah. No,
it's pretty clever.
Okay, funny. Okay, I was thinking of like kids who are just too lazy, or maybe just COVID-19. Like they can't see their parents.
Surprisingly, none of these are COVID-19 related. I don't think.
Yeah.
One does not simply pick up a gift.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I have made my mom especially, but my mom and dad, so many gifts throughout, either made or bought so many gifts since my childhood, and I have learned never to do that. It is such a bad idea for me anyways, because if my parents wanted, they would have already gotten it themselves. And so I recently started making salad again, and so very long ago I bought my mom a salad mixer, right? You turn it and then it mixes all the juices, and it's amazing. She's never used it. I distinctly remember, like, year after year, every time we move into a new house, the box is just sitting there, and I can see the label. I'm like,
oh, I didn't know you gave this.
Yeah, I bought it for her. Yeah, and then literally like 2 weeks ago, when I was like, "Hey mom, do you remember the salad mixer I got you? Yeah, can I have it? Because I recently started making salad." "Oh yeah, sure, take it." And it's just sitting there, right?
Yeah,
and I'm honestly,
I mean, this happens. Yeah, almost every year.
Honestly surprised she still has it. I would have thought she's like, "Oh wait, what gift? Where did you like?" I'm honestly surprised she still has it, but that's just. Yeah.
I started giving lottery tickets to my mom because
she likes that though.
That's her favorite.
Yeah, that's her thing though, right?
Yeah. So I think I'll do the same this year. But like, yeah, so I got her the Nespresso machine, and then basically it's just me using it every morning.
Oh, you bought that? Oh.
I bought that for her for Mother's Day.
Yeah, but yeah.
She does drink coffee every day.
I hope she likes the thing you're gonna get her this year, the unblocked TV thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope she likes it because I mean.
Oh, she'll definitely use it. Yeah, but especially like when I'm not living there anymore, But anyway.
Sad times. Not really.
I mean, it's a good entertainment machine. Yes. But anyway, yes, that's true.
Why are all these
Game of Thrones?
Why are all these Game of Thrones?
I mean, I picked out some of the funnier ones.
Where did you find these?
I typed Mother's Day
memes. Did you include GOT in there?
No, I did not. I did not. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
This is pretty funny.
This is just white trash America. Let's skip this one. I don't want to bash America.
Is that Tommen?
No, that's
Tommen.
Yeah, that's Tommen. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's not Joffrey. Joffrey is much.
I don't know, from a distance,
more evil.
From the angle there. I don't know why I thought it was Joffrey. That's why.
Joffrey is much more evil looking.
See, they're all literally Game of Thrones.
I think this is the last one.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
But this one is funny.
Who's his mom again? Oh yeah, she died. Oh yeah.
So sad. It's okay.
At
least he lived till the end. Spoiler.
Fuck off. Yeah.
Anyway, don't forget to buy me a Mother's Day gift, since I'll be the mother to all of your future children. Do you know who this girl is?
Yeah, the obsessive girl, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, I don't know her name.
She was hilarious. I don't know why. I thought she was one of the funniest girl on YouTube. And you know, it was all character.
Yeah, I know it's fake. Yeah,
some people thought she was real.
No, I knew that it was fake. Not that it was fake, but like it's all like for a show or whatever.
Wait, but who was it? Like she was obsessed over someone, but I can't remember.
I don't know the actual backstory.
I can't remember.
That one happened to us though. Well, no, the obsessive one.
Oh,
because, I mean, you can't.
Yeah, no. Happy Mother's Day from your favorite son. This one is relatable for you, not from me, because I mean, obviously.
I don't know if I compete with my brother to be the favorite son. I don't think we've ever had that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little hard to say because I think my brother and not to go too much into it, but I think we give my mom value in different ways. Like my brother, who he's in psychotherapy, so he's much more emotional, and like he's able to like care for my mom emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
But then for me, I guess I'm more logical and yeah, like I don't know. It's just we bring value in different ways. So
I don't think most mom will say, "Oh, you're my favorite son."
If we have kids, when we have kids, I will definitely rank them. I will definitely say this kid's a fucking asshole, or I love this kid, right? I don't know why, but
I don't know. Is that something they would appreciate?
They wouldn't know. I'm not gonna say this to their face, but every parent has obviously my mom and dad has never said this to my brother and I, but they have a favorite. Like they I
mean, yeah,
and I'm not saying I don't even know who it is.
It's just
right?
like people ask me, do you have a favorite student?
Yeah, like it's human nature, right?
Yes,
you're not supposed to. Yeah, but there has but they've never, and it's good that they haven't told. Personally, I don't care. Anyway, why are you scrolling through these? I want to see them.
Oh, I don't know. This one is not very relatable.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what's the next one then?
It's just this one is just cute. I was gonna serve you breakfast. Who serves their mom breakfast in bed?
I remember I remember my brother and I making my dad breakfast in bed once. I
feel like that's a little creepy. I feel like that's a Valentine's Day thing.
I remember doing that. Yeah.
Oh, I made breakfast for my mom many times for Mother's Day, but like I don't serve it.
We literally wake up so remember I told you that my parents wake up at like 4:30 or like they wake up early for work.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother and I had to wake up even earlier. We woke up so I remember that I don't remember the actual like all the details, but I remember being so like tired and like why are we up this early? Because and then I think probably we were around like 9 or 10 around like then. My brother's a little older obviously. Yeah, and then we had to make food, and then I'm sure we made so much noise that they were already awake, but then they pretended to sleep anyways.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a nice thing to do on Mother's Day. They usually cook for us.
Don't do breakfast in bed if your parents are early risers. It's just torture.
Yeah. My mom is not early riser, but I still wouldn't do breakfast in bed because she'll be like, I don't want to be seen right now. Anyway, this is the same thing from favorite child. I don't know, I just found it interesting because you guys have siblings and I'm just the only child.
Do you wish you had a sibling though?
I always wanted a sibling. I always wanted a younger brother.
Oh, well, you have me. Basically it's incest because I mean
okay,
it's basically incest.
All right, last meme. This is a sweet one. Don't you think it's sweet? Every day is Mother's Day.
I mean, technically every day can be a good day then, but
I don't know. I just think it's true. You should appreciate your mom every day. You don't have to give them gifts every day, but you don't think so? You think appreciating mom should be once a year?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. That's not my point.
Okay.
I'm just saying, yes, I agree that you should appreciate your mom every day, and that there shouldn't be a specific day where you're supposed to do it, right? Like, personally, like, I understand that Mother's Day is probably just like a marketing scam thing where like, so people can spend money.
That's every holiday.
Yeah, right? That's every holiday. But I, instead of saying that every day is Mother's Day, you should just say that every day is every day. Like why can't every day also be Father's Day or Love Your Spouse Day, right?
Every day is a good day.
Right, yeah, every day is a good day.
I don't think it's saying that every day is just Mother's Day, but it's just saying
yes.
A better way, a funny way to say appreciate your mom.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. Which some people probably don't. You know, yeah. I was talking to one of our friends. I'm like, what are you doing for Mother's Day? She's like, I'm just gonna send her flowers. And I was like, the fuck? That feels so like.
I mean, that's something.
I guess. And you know who you. If you see this,
better
you know,
than nothing.
If you see this, you know who you are. But I was like, I don't know. I feel like flowers are so.
Some people really appreciate flowers.
I guess my mom. Like, I guess
I shouldn't get you flowers anymore.
Okay, so I like getting flowers from you. I like getting flowers. I guess it's just because my mom is very picky. So when I try to get her flowers or whatever,
she'll be complaining.
Like,
this is ugly.
Yeah, she's like, what is this like arrangement of like these colors don't even match or whatever.
Oh no.
And,
yeah, my mom doesn't do that, but she recently started to tell me to get like flowers that wouldn't die, like. Not fake flowers, but like get her like an orchid or like something.
Oh,
like
longer standing flowers. Like
yeah. Not just a bouquet because it just dies so fast.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do that.
Agree with that. Yeah, and not
yeah, but then like she's gonna get so many plants that she doesn't take care of. It's just me.
Oh, okay,
I already have like 300 plus plants myself. And
Dave's airplane corner.
It's not even related. We're talking about orchids. Anyway, but yeah.
We're talking about the plants that you have to take care of. So I just want to make that plug.
Thanks.
But no, yeah. I think it's gonna be a good Mother's Day. Despite everything. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, even at this tricky time, still spend some time with your mom. Appreciate her. If you can't, make sure you I don't know, FaceTime, Zoom, house party them. Yeah, just to make them feel appreciated, and yeah, don't make her mad on Mother's Day or sad.
Yeah, even if your relationship, I guess, might not be the greatest with your parents, which I imagine isn't very uncommon, but just remember that they're human too, because we're all learning.
Yeah.
Anyways, see you guys next time.
Have a good one. Bye.